So in this video, I want to talk about exercises that you can do. And the first thing I want to talk about is sort of the way I think about how to develop your technique in terms of exercises that is somewhat influenced by Renee, but also from some other sources too, and it really shapes this. One of the things I've been trying to do is really isolate things. So like we have a chapter that's just on right hand displacement, so you learn how to do that. We have a chapter that's just on engagement, you learn how to do that. So that's part of it. The other part of it is that I want it to be progressive, meaning that it would seem intuitive that one needs to learn what your right hand displacement options are and how to use them and grow comfortable with them, and then learn how to align and engage before you start dealing with plucking. And then you have to deal with plucking and engagement and alignment before you can go to scales. And then the right hand you can do on its own in a way that you can't with the left. You always kind of want to be able to hear the left hand. And when we get to the left hand section, there's only one, maybe two exercises you can do with the left hand where you can do it without any right hand at all. So point being is that part of the reason that this whole system is set up the way it is partly to be progressive and partly to isolate things so you can work on one thing at a time, but also so that you can learn the right hand on its own, kind of like those initial chapters in Ricardo Isnola's Path to Virtuosity, where you just are plucking one string or just plucking chords, and then you can graduate to add in the left hand and doing more complicated things with both hands. Also, too, one of the ideas of this is that you can learn how to start seeing this way in pieces. So that way, if you have a passage, you're like, okay, what's going on with my displacement? How's that going? Oh, I'm noticing my forearm's a little tense, and I'm holding it out of the center of its range of motion. Okay, now let me focus on the wrist. Now let me focus on the left hand and left hand engagement. So you can kind of learn to focus on different things in a passage and also see all those different factors inside a passage music. But finally, the other part is to learn how to turn these exercises, your parts of your own pieces, into very concise, focused exercises. So for example, if you have a passage where it's an arpeggio, you can stop dealing with the left hand, and just like Path to Virtuosity, you can just practice the arpeggio, focusing on all the right hand issues involved, and just playing it. So like with this passage here, I have a piece that I wrote. I can focus on just this. Then I can focus on the descending part. So I can break those up into different things. So that's part of the idea of this. So having said that, the big concepts for the right hand that I focus on are chord plucking, three notes with different separations of thumb and finger, and 3 and 4 note chords. I'd also do intervals with different finger combinations and different string combinations, and then arpeggios, and then scales. And the best books, in my experience, that just have techniques exercises that focus on those are Ricardo Isnola's book, Path to Virtuosity, Pumping Nylon, and then Carl Navarro's books are also pretty good as well. So those are all the exercises that I'd recommend for the right hand, and also how I think about exercises. Thanks.